In my experience training athletes, there is a secret ingredient that completely separates those that see some results and those that change the trajectory of their career. What is the secret ingredient? Let's talk about it. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. If you're watching this on YouTube, I just kindly ask that you please like the video and subscribe to the channel. We're trying to make an effort to put as much content on here, whether it's free training tips, conversations around hitting development, or just any free information that can help you or your athlete in the development process. If you're listening to this on podcasts, wherever you're listening to, just follow the show. You'll get updates whenever we release a new episode, as we'll start releasing episodes weekly now that the off season is coming to an end. So throughout the last 3+ years being in the baseball development space, I've been able to take notes on many of the different athletes that come into the building. And I've kind of seen how some have had success, how others have had maybe a little bit, or some that just haven't seen success, even though they're all kind of putting in the same work. And while I've been blessed to impact many players' lives, I have noticed that the biggest thing that separates the good athletes from the great athletes, and as I described as kind of the secret ingredient that can completely transform your career, it's intent. So what I mean by intent is kind of like eager attention to details. What I mean is a focus and a discipline on everything, not just some of the stuff, on everything when it comes to your development. What I mean is not just going through the motions in your training. This is clearly the biggest separator I see. I always say, like, you could have the best instruction in the world. You know, you can have the best strength training program, nutrition plan, personal trainer, whatever it is. But if you don't take the reps seriously, each swing, each meal, just go into each day with the intent to promote good habits and actually do things the right way, I don't think it really matters. And unfortunately, I see this all the time. You see the parents that, they really, really, really want their child to succeed. Maybe they've been blessed to have the resources to basically get the best trainers, get the best programming. But if the athlete doesn't fully buy in, you see this all the time. The athlete doesn't fully buy in. They kind of go through training session, not really focus on each drill, just kind of going through the motions. They go to the weight room, but they don't really push it or take it seriously, or maybe do as much weight as they should, or don't do any of the workouts exactly the same way they should if it's uncomfortable. And the unfortunate truth is you're just not getting your return on investment. And again, unfortunately, I see that all the time. Even if you have the best programming and you make that big investment, if you don't have the intent or not focus on doing each rep each day correctly, you're not getting your return back on that. And so I always tell my athletes, whether I work with them remotely or the hitters that come in-house and train with me here at Zeal, I always tell them, like, I'm giving you everything you could possibly need to transform your career, right? Again, high-level hitting instruction, we're getting sports performance programming, nutrition guidance, even like college recruiting help, all these things, right? That can help you, go to the next level, take your game to new heights, right? I'm giving you everything, but the only way you're actually going to transform your career, the only way you're actually going to see crazy results, the only way you're actually going to translate this to performance in game is it's on you. It's on what you do every day. It's on the way that you actually go about the day. It's about the diligence and the intent to actually follow the plan you have. And again, it's a two-way street. If the instructor's not performing the way they should or giving the athletes what they need, even if they work hard, they can fail. But on the other side, what I see more often is, you have everything you need plan-wise, and then you just don't follow it or you don't take it seriously. Or sadly, is you think, well, I have all these good programming, so if I just kind of go through the motions and do my thing every day, then I'm going to see crazy results. And sometimes that's not the case. And I always say is, you need to go through each drill with intent on what the swing thought is, or what the cue is, or maybe it's a drastic feel. You need to really over exaggerate that feel. You need to go through each drill with intent. So many times you get this custom drill plan, you're like, all right, do 10 of these swings, I go to the next thing, do 10 of these swings, move on. That's not helping you get better, right? You need to go through each drill with intent. If you have a strength program, you need to follow the strength program to a T, right? And the more important part is you need to fuel your body after it, right? You can do all the strength program in the world, but if you're eating, 1,000 calories a day, or you're eating a bunch of calories, but it's all processed crap, right? You're not eating good nutrient dense food, right? then it doesn't matter, right? You need to fuel your body the proper way and be doing what you need to do in the weight room. If you're taking those things seriously, whether it's tracking your micros, your macros, right, and doing the weight room, you're going to start seeing results faster versus the athlete that maybe takes the lifting seriously but doesn't fuel their body at all. And they're like, I'm not gaining any weight. I don't feel like I'm getting any stronger. Everything goes hand in hand. And the athletes that I've worked with that are the best of the best, whether it's professional level or even like really high level high schoolers, they do everything to a T. They do their mobility better than anyone. They do their J bands better than anyone. They go through the drills. It might take double the time to go through their drills the right way, but they're actually making progress faster because they're doing stuff the right way. And it's always like that. You know what I mean? In the weight room, they're doing everything to a T. They're making sure they're not just throwing weight on there and doing the lift poorly, right? They're trying to do proper, efficient movements so they can actually build strength that translates in their game. So I think that's super, super big, super, super important to focus on. And the quote that I always say to my guys is, the athlete that has the average plan with elite intent and discipline will always run laps around the athlete with the elite plan, but average focus, right? To see exceptional results, you have to be the exception. Just because, especially these days in the development world, everyone has strength programming, everyone has hitting instruction, everyone has mobility, arm care, all this stuff. Most athletes all have high level programming, high level instruction, right? Why doesn't everyone go pro? Why doesn't everyone play Division I baseball, right? It's because that there's certain athletes that take that high level plan, they combine it with the intent, the focus with each rep, each drill, each day of training, right? And that's what helps them see exceptional results, right? Say it again. To see exceptional results, you have to be the exception. So again, this is a wake-up call to the athletes that maybe are working every day or doing what they need to do every day, but aren't really doing any of the work with intent, right? Start fresh today, become the exception, whether it's your skill work, the weight room, right? Your diet, your schoolwork. There's probably some area in those categories, right, that you're not doing. Maybe you're doing the strength training and the hitting stuff, right? But you're not doing your stuff in the classroom. You're not fueling your body properly. Maybe you're a tank in the weight room, but you don't really care about the swing stuff, and then you wonder why you can't hit in game, right? So there's always usually something, okay? This is a wake-up call for you. Go all in, start fresh today, be the exception, have intent, have discipline to do the results, okay? So that's all for this week's episode. Hope you enjoyed it. Again, we're going to start promoting weekly episodes. We're going to start blowing up the YouTube page. So like and subscribe, follow the show, Apple Podcast, Spotify, wherever you're listening to, and we'll catch you guys on the next episode.